please raise your right hand, please, sir? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you give to the court and the jury on the matter currently pending before the court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I will.
Be seated, please, sir. Could you please state your first and last name to the jury, please, sir?
Eric Higginbotham.
Are you a certified police officer in the state of Georgia?
I am.
How long have you been a certified police officer?
Approximately 21 and a half years now.
Were you employed by the Athens County Police Department back on May 30th, 2013?
Yes, I was.
Do you recall talking to Miss Aileen Bishop Howard pertaining to Jamie Hood, sir?
I did.
What do you recall talking to her about pertaining to Jamie Hood?
Need to ask a specific question.
Do you recall Miss Aileen Howard making the allegation that Tony beat up James at the jail?
She didn't say specific location, but she did say that, or make the allegation that he beat you up.
Could you tell us about that?
Not anything further, that's all she said about that.
Did you make in the allegations that you knew it was some truth to them because you didn't heard it?
That's a good question, and that's improper based on everything you covered yesterday.
I'll sustain the objection based on leading and that was limited.
Could we have the jury complete just for a second? Because I know
he's
course
just
you know.
asking him about the interview, the jury doesn't know the context of.
I understand, but basically to ask him, you ask him, as part of all this, did the GBI basically conduct an interview with you about what you knew about that day? Yes, I don't have the intention of that, but basically to start going and, didn't you tell them this or didn't you tell them that? But he's already said what he was gonna say. There wasn't anything different on that tape than what he's already testified to. And therefore that is, so it would not in any way be admissible.
It's admissible because we're on this same issue. I'm not going no further than that because after we hear him talking to him about it.
So you only want to ask if he, that the interview to.
Pertaining to, yeah, I can't talk about that. You rule
Yes,
out
and
that.
that's it.
Okay, that's
But to talk about it, they give an interview, but if he starts going into the contents of it,
That's what he just said. He's only going to ask him that.
ask him, did he have an interview? Okay, that's fine.
an interview about what, the allegation Tony beat up Jacob. Did you talk to the GBI about that? I'm only on this issue. I'm not going out the scope of that. Because that's what they were talking about. That's why I was gonna ask. Because I was gonna call the GBI in and because he heard it. It's not hearsay, because he heard him talk.
That's not what hearsay is, but I hear him now. That's not what.
I'll allow it. Ready to bring him in?
Yes, sir.
Bring him in. All right, we may continue.
Listen, here's about you, sir. After Miss Aileen Howard made allegation that Tony beat up Jamie, did you report that to your supervisor?
I did.
After you reported that supervisor, what happened? Did you have any other involvement about that allegation there, sir?
Yes, they went up the chain of command, and the next week I met with 2 GBI agents, actually 3, and was interviewed by them about the incident.
Was that interview conducted on Monday, June 3rd, 2013 at approximately 10:32 a.m., sir?
That sounds about right.
Was you interviewed by Agent Jesse Maddox and Special Agent Jeremy Burton, sir?
Yes, it was.
Was that interview in fact recorded in any type of way, sir?
Yes, it was.
During that interview, did you ever state to the agents that Ms. Howard made allegation that Tony beat up Jamie?
Yes, it did.
What did the agent respond about that? What did the agent say about the allegation that Tony beat up Jamie?
That would be hearsay, and that would not be.
Sustain that objection.
Did you have anybody threaten you because you reported this in any type of way?
No, it did not.
Did anybody force you to go and report those allegations in any type of way?
No,
Why did you report those allegations, sir?
because it is a serious allegation, and it needs to be brought forward to a supervisor to see if there's anything to be substantiated from that allegation.
Thank you, sir. No further.
Officer Higginbotham,
Yes, sir.
on that day of May 30th, everything that you heard Ms. Howard say was recorded. Is that correct?
That's correct.
You had a belt tape and all of that was recorded, isn't that right?
It's actual digital recorder, yes, sir.
That's right. And at no time did you ever hear her say that I overheard Tony tell his dad about something involving
correct. I never heard that.
And the allegation that you're talking about was, in your mind, simply just an opinion that she had at that time. Is that right?
Yes,
And she was upset at that time, wasn't she?
she was.
And,
Yeah, check the speculation as far as his opinion go. He's saying that it was her opinion. He don't know it was opinion of the fact because he wouldn't know what. He can't say that he knew that Ms. Howard making that off of opinion because how could he? So that would be speculation on what she was thinking.
and in fact, at that time, she talked about calling Fox 5, didn't she?
She did.
And during the time that you spoke to her, she mentioned about money or getting money about 6 different times. Isn't that correct?
That's correct.
And that was her primary concern. Is that correct?
For that day, yes, sir.
And you understood that she had made an allegation that Clarence Howard had scratched her and tore her shirt. Isn't that right?
Yes.
And you didn't investigate that further.
No, the other officers on the scene had investigated that. I basically stood by.
And are you aware that one of the folks they talked to was Joe Louis Smith?
I don't know the other names.
Okay. You aware that they spoke to Clarence Howard about that as well?
Yes, sir.
And did you become aware that there were matters brought up that she'd simply tore her own shirt and scratched herself?
I've heard that since then.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Why did she, well, she stated that she was gonna call Fox 5. Did she mention anything about Jamie Hood?
She did with one statement about Jamie Hood.
Okay, so did she tell you that she was mentioning Jamie Hood because of some money?
No,
You didn't force her to mention Jamie Hood. Did you force her to mention Jamie Hood?
no, she volunteered the information.
Did she tell you that, hey, I just scratched my own self and tore my own shirt?
No,
No fucking question.
Anything else?
Anything when you were interviewed by the GBI, that was part of their conducting outside review, isn't that right?
yes,
And anything when you were talking to them, you were simply relating to them what may have been said to you by Ms. Howard, isn't that right?
that's correct.
And everything that she said was in that recording, correct?
It was.
Okay. That you had on your belt then, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
Did the GBI take over this case because it was retaining information that Jamie Hood is also coming out?
That, I think it's already been asked and answered, but in addition, it was, really becomes a legal question as well.
Did the GBI talk to you about Jamie Hood and Tony Howard, the allegation, was that brought up by the GBI?
Already been asked and answered.
Do you think the GBI was talking about you, or talking to you about Jamie Hood and Tony Howard?
They were talking to me about the entire incident.
Jamie Hood and Tony Howard brought up too, was that not, was it brought up?
Yes.
No further question.
That's all I have.
Any excuse?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Oh, your next witness.
Jeremy Burton. Jeremy Burton. Will you please raise your right hand, sir? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you give to the court and the jury on the matter currently pending before the court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Please be seated, sir. Could you state your first and last name for the jury, please, sir?
My name is Jeremy Burton.
What do you
work for the Georgia Bureau of Investigation in our Athens regional office.
How long have you been working for the Georgia Bureau of Investigation?
Since October of 2011, a little less than 4 years.
Are you a certified law enforcement officer in the state of Georgia?
I am.
How long you been certified, sir?
For a little less than 4 years, since October of 2011.
Mr. Burton, sir, could you tell us how you come to get involved in this case?
Let me refer to my report and give you a specific time. On May 30th, 2013, we received, we being the Athens regional office, received a request to investigate allegations of a domestic violence incident that occurred between Mr. Clarence Howard and Miss Aline Bishop Howard.
Excuse me, I can't hear.
I'm gonna ask you to slide up a little more. I can no, and the jury doesn't know this, I can no longer control the volume levels here anymore. This panel went out yesterday or last night, so I don't, that's why it's gonna be a little harder even, so.
Sure.
Thank you.
Is this a little better?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you want me to restate my
Yes,
answer?
sir, please.
Approximately May 30th, 2013, we received a request by the Athens Clark County Police Department to open up an investigation into allegations of a domestic violence incident that occurred between Clarence Howard and Elaine Bishop Howard.
Was Jamie Hood mentioned in that allegation at all?
He was.
Could you tell us the Jamie Hood part of that, the investigation and allegation?
During the course,
I think you have to be very specific. I don't think you.
Please ask a specific question.
Did you hear any allegation at all about Miss Aileen Howard made an allegation that Tony beat up Jamie?
the allegation that I was made aware of during the course of our interview with Ms. Howard, her exact words were in regards to overhearing a conversation between Tony Howard and another jailer that occurred some years ago. Her statement was that they had to jack him up, was her statement.
Could I please see defendant exhibit 36, please?
Okay. This is, you're gonna show that,
Yes,
this
sir.
is where I don't have any control. Okay. Looks like this one left. Mr. Burton, am I saying it right, sir? Mr. Burton?
Burton, yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Burton, sir, could you tell us about this? I mean, do you recognize this?
I do.
Okay, could you tell us what this is?
This is a letter of request that we received from the chief of police. I believe it's the chief of police. Just in typical fashion, and it is our practice, anytime an agency requests the assistance of the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, we try to get it in writing. And this would be that writing correspondence that the chief provided to us for this case.
Did you see anything in the letter, anything about Jamie Hood?
I do.
What did you see about Jamie Hood? Could you tell us what that is?
The sentence is This correspondence serves as special request for your agency to conduct an investigation regarding an accusation levied by Miss Aline Bishop Howard concerning an alleged dated altercation between Athens Clarke County Police Department Senior Police Officer, SPO, Tony Howard, and Jamie Hood.
This also states anything about that may have, events that may have led to the assault on SBO Howard and SBO Christian 2000. Did every report say that in there?
It did. That is the second sentence.
Okay, why you just didn't read that second sentence to the jury?
You asked for me to read off the statement of Jamie Hood. Jamie Hood is in the first sentence.
Would that pertain to Jamie Hood also, sir?
It did.
Yeah. So, who, do you know who, could you tell us about that led to the assault of SBO Howard and SBO Christian, that part of it? Where did that come from?
I don't think I.
This is a letter of Chief Lumpkin, Judge. And he basically is saying that this is the letter that they received as part of the request for outside investigation.
Is this letter what got y'all agents involved in this case pertaining to the Jamie Hood allegation?
Yes, it is.
Tell us the process. What was the process of that? After you heard the Jamie Hood name, what was the process of y'all getting with the witnesses and questioning them, having these interviews with them? Tell us that process.
Our first step was to meet with the alleged victim in this case. In this case would be Miss Bishop Howard. We went and arranged a meeting with her in Thomaston, Georgia, at our Region 7 office, which is our Augusta office. We met with her and reviewed her statements that she made on scene with the responding Clarke County officers, talked with her about the situation, obtained her side of the story, so to speak. And from her statement, we were able to obtain a list of other individuals, other officers that responded, any other pertinent witnesses. And obviously, we followed up with those individuals to speak with them pertaining to this matter as well.
Did y'all have contact with Officer Higginbotham?
We did.
Could you tell us about that? Only pertaining to the Jamie Hood, the statement, the allegation made that Tony beat up Jamie, only pertaining to that issue there as far as Mr. Higginbotham.
We met with Officer Higginbotham, who responded to the domestic disturbance call, and obtained his statement of that incident as he recalled the events to his knowledge.
Did Officer Higginbotham say anything about that statement that Miss Aileen, he heard Miss Aileen Howard says that Tony beat up Jamie? Did he state that to y'all at any time during the investigation?
He had stated to us that he had overheard Miss Howard make the allegation that she understood, that she was aware of Jamie Hood and Tony Howard's history.
Did he have that recorded, sir?
Our recording with Mr. Higginbotham, or?
What he heard, the allegation from Miss Howard, did he have, when he talked to her on the scene that day, did he have a digital recording on it?
He advised us in our interview that he had it on the digital recording.
Do you know who he gave that digital recording to?
That recording was copied and provided to us along with the request letter, along with the images that had been taken from the scene.
I see this letter by Mr. Lumpkin here. What was y'all investigation concerning Mr. Lumpkin? How did he fit in that investigation?
The Chief Lumpkin,
Yes, sir.
he requested us for assistance.
Did you talk to him personally when he requested you?
I did not, no, sir.
Do you know who talked to him?
I believe no one spoke to him.
So, when you interviewed Miss Aileen Bishop Howard, sir, as far as the jacking up part, was you talking about,
Your Honor, that's a leading question. That's not appropriate. I move to strike all that. I'm completely correct.
Jury will disregard that question. Ask another question, please.
when you talked to Miss Aileen Howard,
was recorded, yes.
Was it digitally recorded or audio recorded? What did it have? Both of them? What was it?
Our Region 7 office had an interview room with video recording equipment, and as a result, obviously, this interview was recorded with video and audio.
Video and audio. Now, you stated she said something about had to jack him up when she was talking.
That is not correct. That is a misleading question. That is not true. He already indicated what it is that she said, and I would object to that question.
Sustaining the objection, and once again, the prosecutor disregarded that question.
What did she say about Jamie Hood? I'm sorry. The statement that she made that Tony had to beat up Jamie, what was it?
It's already been asked and answered on his witness. It's already been asked, he already outlined it about the statement, anything that she may have said at that time.
Maybe I misproceeded, that's why I want to ask him again, because apparently I did. I mean, I want to write it down. What did he say? Because this, honestly, I'm thinking he said something like jack him up, we had to jack him up, that's what I heard.
I'm going to sustain the objection. It was asked and answered.
But, well, I'm kind of lost there, Judge. I thought he did say she overheard.
You can't tell me what you think. Whatever it is,
Okay. Who was the officer present? Did she say who the officer was when Officer Howard was talking about jacking up an inmate or somebody?
Refer to my note. She advised us that later on, towards the end of the interview, remembered that his nickname was Touche, and then clarified to us that his name was John Walker.
Now, what were they talking about?
Under that. I don't know that particular question, the form of the question about what they're talking about. I don't know who he's talking about. I thought he was asking about what the interview with Allen and Bishop Howard, he's already asked about. He wound up saying, what were they talking about? It really goes into, it's on hearsay. I think he can simply ask what Ms. Howard said about that, which is what is already done.
I'll sustain the objection.
What did Ms. Howard tell you about what she heard from them?
That's what we already said. He'd already asked that. He already answered that question.
Sustain.
When Ms. Howard made her allegation to you, did she do it free will?
She did not.
She didn't do it free will?
No, we had to ask her. We had to essentially lead her into that particular issue to get her to clarify to us that allegation.
Could you explain how you had to get her to do that?
During the course of our interview, we went down the line of her allegation, and when we asked her about her statement that she made to Officer Higginbotham, she then clarified to us what she meant.
But she did tell you.
She did. After we had to bring it up to her. She did not come in and voluntarily provide that information. We had to coax her into talking about it with us.
Why do y'all have to coach her?
Coach her?
Yes, sir.
As a coax her. I had to coax her.
What did that mean?
I had to make her comfortable. We had to bring her in to that line of questioning. Does that answer your question?
So she didn't volunteer to come down there and tell you about Jamie Hood, the statement.
Lights back on.
That's a leading question in that regard, and it's already been asked.
Sustain.
So, do you coach all your witnesses, sir? Do you coach them? Everybody you talk to, do you have to coach them?
Not necessarily. Depends on the circumstances.
So, did she tell you anytime I'm down here to receive some money regarding Jamie Hood, making statements about Jamie Hood?
I don't think I understand your question, sir.
Did she say anybody gave her some money to say anything about Jamie Hood?
No, she did not.
No further questions, sir.
I have no questions of either person.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Call your next
Thank you.
witness.
I'd like to get Detective Clark. Detective Clark.
do.
Please take a seat, sir. Please give your first and last name to the court and jury, please, sir.
First name Jeffrey, last name Clark.
You're a certified police officer in the state of Georgia.
I am.
How long you been certified?
17 years.
What are your current position, sir?
My current position, I am the commander for the Family Protection Center. I'm in charge of investigators that investigate sexual assaults, domestic violence, and also cyber crimes.
What was the last one, sir?
Cyber crimes.
Okay. Were you involved with the Athens County Police Department back in 2010, sir?
Yes, I was.
How about in December 2010, was you employed with the Athens County Police Department?
Yes, sir.
What was your position in 2010?
I was a detective for the robbery homicide unit.
Was you employed with Athens County on March 22nd through March 25th,
Yes,
2011?
yes.
What was your position?
I was
at that time?
a detective for the robbery homicide unit.
Let me ask you, we're having trouble with our PA. The distance is right, but when you turn your head to speak with the jury, we lose you.
Okay.
So if you could,
Okay. Gotcha.
thank you.
Yes, sir.
Do you recall having investigated in a Mr. Omar Ray case?
I do.
Do you recall having been part of an investigation of the Jadon Brooke alleged carjacking kidnapping?
I do.
Did you interview, do you recall having an interview with Mr. Jadon Brooks on March 20, 2011?
Yes.
Who was present with you when you interviewed Mr. Brooks?
Agent Harold for the GBI.
Okay. Was that interview recorded in any way?
It was.
Okay. Could you tell the jury what form it was recorded in?
Well, it was recorded on video.
Did it also have audio and sound on it?
Video and audio.
Okay. Okay, could you tell the jury why you record a video? Why would you record that video of any interview? Why would you record it?
We record to remember the facts of what the interview consisted of.
Prior to that interview, did you know anything about Mr. Jadon Brooke in the Kenyatta County?
As far as in what?
Tell us what knowledge you had on Mr. Jadon Brooks in Kenyatta County.
Well, I worked as a patrol officer, starting off with the Athens County Police Department. I worked what was called Zone 4, and Zone 4 consisted of the Paldo area. So I knew Jadon, I knew Kenyatta, I knew Omari Ray just from working that area.
How did you know them from working that area?
They were
I'm not certain that question certainly calls for a narrative, and it goes back some time about how did you know them in that particular area, so it's a little bit broad.
Run the narrative in mail order question, please.
Did you know Mr. Jadon Brooke of Kenyatta County or Mr. Ray to be drug dealers?
I knew Kenyatta Campbell because I had arrested Kenyatta Campbell. I did not know Omari Ray to be a drug dealer. They all associated together, so I could assume, but I never arrested them for drugs or caught them with drugs.
How about Mr. Jadon Brooke? Was he a drug dealer? Did you know him to be a drug dealer?
I never arrested Jadon for being a drug dealer.
Did you have any knowledge of him being a drug dealer?
All that calls for hearsay, and all that stuff is improper in talking about, did you know this or did that?
Sustained.
Have you heard, please? Okay. He the police, he might have seen him firsthand make a few drug transactions, but he just didn't arrest him, couldn't get him at the time. So that would be hearsay if he saw it himself.
That wasn't the question that you asked.
Okay.
I'm sustaining the
Okay.
objection to that question.
was arrested once, reference to information me and another officer received on a tip. We went to his car, found drugs in his car, and he was placed under arrest for, I believe, it could have been trafficking at that time. I'm not sure. I'm not certain.
What type, after you interviewed Mr. John Brooks, did you do an investigation, a thorough investigation on Mr. Brooks and this alleged carjacking?
Are we going back, are you talking about which carjacking are you talking about?
John Brooks, are you aware that Mr. John Brooks called the police and said Jamie Hood carjacked him at the Pittman Tire, and that would spark this, everybody looking for Jamie, the police shooting incident?
That's a leading question, and it's misleading, and that's not at all what John Brooks said. We've heard the 911 tapes, and all that is just totally misleading.
I sustain the objection.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the objection, but for the record, we got the 911 tape, John said he was carjacked at the Pittman Tire.
Mr. Hood, I sustain that objection. Ask another question, please.
What led you to interview Mr. John Brooks?
The interview was, I believe, I can't recall exactly, I believe it was after the Omari Ray case.
Was it after the March 25th, this police shooting incident and this alleged carjacking? Was that for the time you interviewed Mr. Brooks?
Yes,
Okay. Well, why did you just say it after the Mr. Omar Ray?
because all of the cases ran together, pretty much.
Did you interview Mr. John Brooks on March 28, 2011?
Yes,
When you agree that's after that police shooting incident and that's alleged carjacking?
yes.
And was it at approximately 4:44 p.m. when you interviewed him on March 28, 2011?
I don't have the time, but if that's what the video says, yes.
Did y'all do a written report on that?
Rebecca Harold did a summary on it.
Have you looked at that summary?
I have, but I don't recall it. I don't remember it.
During your interview with John Brooks, did he tell you anything about he and I, Kenyatta Cameras, and more people want to Southeast Miami?
None of that's not certified statements from John Brooks at this time would in any way be admissible in that front. I don't know at all, and I would object to that being hearsay. There are certain matters and certain times and statements that require the witnesses to testify would be admissible, and there hasn't been anything established why that would be admissible.
The objection's hearsay.
Mr. John Brooks testified to the jury that we went to Southeast Miami and that because they wanted to use my car. He already have testified to this matter. It can't be hearsay because he already testified to it. They heard it, young. He said it.
I'm going to sustain the objection as hearsay as to this witness.
What did you and John Brooks talk about in that interview?
I can't remember the entire interview, what was said. I know he said that,
And I would, again, what goes into, I think you can say generally what was it, the interview about, but I don't think you can go into specifics. Otherwise, we could do each and every witness that he may have interviewed in here and go into what everybody had to say, and there are only certain ways that that would be admissible.
I wouldn't have no problem with him going to everything any witness got to say. I didn't have nothing to hide. Let's talk about it all.
I'm going to sustain the objection. Ask a specific question, please.
Did you know you were testifying in the case?
yes,
Do you have your notes with you?
I have some notes.
Why didn't you bring all your notes?
I have my summaries, and I have Rebecca Shaw's summaries.
But did you bring all your notes?
All that I have, yes.
Do you have any notes that you forgot or you just didn't want to bring to keep certain things
No,
out?
no.
How do you
What did you ask me?
I asked you certain things about the video, your interview, you said you can't recall everything. Why not? If you can recall certain things about your notes, and you can recall this and that, but you won't recall what you had an interview about. Tell us that.
I don't recall a specific question you asked me.
Kind of glitch when I want to ask you certain things.
Just ask the question.
Do you recall Jadon Brooks talking to you about Mr. Omar Ray's murder?
Yes.
What did y'all talk about?
Basically, he said you made some,
I thought we just covered that as far as going into those statements. Simply because an officer takes a statement from a witness, generally you would have the witness testify, not the officer going in unless there's specific reasons why that would be.
Ask me a specific question. If you have one.
Well, Your Honor, the reason why I asked, because I have a live interview, he sitting here talking to him, even seen, how can it be hearsay when he know the video show they talking? How can it be hearsay?
Objection wasn't hearsay.
Well, if he talked about it, and I'm here for the Omar Ray murder, I have every right to get into it because I'm charged with this murder.
I'm not telling you you can't get into it. I think you have to ask a specific question.
Did Jadon Brooks talk to you about Kenyon County pertaining to the Omar Ray murder?
That's the same thing. I was objecting to hearsay as far as going into that. I mean,
Overrule the objection, allow me to answer that question.
yes, Kenyatta Campbell was mentioned in that interview.
Okay. What was your talk about Kenyon County pertaining to the Omar Ray murder?
Again, I don't remember all the specifics. Everything is on the video. This case happened 4 years ago. What was on the video, drugs came up about drug sales, but I can't remember everything that video had in it.
Did Jadon Brooks tell you during the interview, Kenyon County don't want to talk to the police about Mr. Omar Ray?
He did.
Okay, tell us about that.
that is hearsay within hearsay. Again, all that would be not admissible. It's basically what this officer says Jadon Brooks said that Kenyatta Campbell may have said. And in fact, he did ask Jadon Brooks about that on cross, if I remember. Certain matters came out. But again, simply because there's a statement, simply because whatever, it doesn't mean that you can just simply play the statements. You have to have a witness testify.
Sustain the objections to hearsay.
Well, Your Honor, in that regard, I might just hold him for recall and get Jadon Brooks in here, and then I question Jadon Brooks.
Just ask another question of this witness if you have one.
Do you recall Jadon Brooks telling you and Rebecca Shaw during that interview that they saw me and I shook their hand and said, God bless him. When I turned around, Omar Ray said, you need to feed that dog. He's gonna bite me. Do you recall that?
I thought that was the same objection that I had in that regard. It would be hearsay.
During the interview, during Jadon Brooks' testimony, he clearly stated to the jury, Jamie shook our hand and said, God bless
Hearsay.
you.
I'm going to sustain the objection as hearsay.
Did Jadon Brooks talk to you about some marijuana, for coming over to my parents' house about some marijuana? Well, I tell you,
Respectfully object to that matter. So you take up outside the presence of the jury to deal with that and make sure you understand. Hearsay is.
what I do is I
Object to that.
have no further question for this witness. I have him recall. I get Mr. Brooks in here and we'll do it like that.
Any questions for Smallman?
Mr. Clark, over the years as an officer, you've had to qualify with firearms, is that correct?
That's correct.
And you have to do that at least once a year, is that correct?
Yes.
And through all that, basically, you have used your
I'm sorry.
firearm, you basically.
3 times a year.
3 times a year. And that consists of what when you qualify, sir?
We do 2 night qualifications and 2 day qualifications and 1 night qualifications. And it consists of shooting targets downrange.
And when you do that, y'all wear goggles, is that correct?
Yes,
And you do that to make sure casings don't wind up hitting you in the eye, is that right?
yes,
And there's been times when you've done that where casings have wound up in your clothing, is that correct?
yes.
And as far as Tony Howard, you've been knowing him about how long now?
Probably since he began working for the police department. I knew him a little bit at the sheriff department, but became good friends with him while he was working at the police department.
And during that time, have you come to know what folks have said about him and concerning his peacefulness?
Yes,
And what is his reputation for peacefulness upon the community that you're aware of that he operates in?
very peaceful guy. You won't hear him raise his voice or anything. I've never heard him curse or anything like that.
And you have you heard basically also what his reputation is for being a truthful person?
Yes,
And what is that
Yeah, I
reputation?
object to that hearsay. I mean, ain't that what you're doing to me, hearsay? Have you heard about his reputation? That's hearsay, because we don't have the people to talk about it.
Judge, that based on the allegations that the defendant made in regard to Tony Howard, this would be appropriate matter for us to get into in the appropriate way to do that.
You know, might be heard on that. The Don Brooker made allegation on me, he just wouldn't let me ask him a question about it. So ain't it the same exact thing?
And what is that reputation, sir, for truthfulness as far as Tony Howard?
very honest guy, very honest guy.
And that's all I have.
I'd like to see this defendant exhibits what it is, 34, 35, whatever, 36, 34, 34, 35. Mr. Clark, you said that you knew Officer Howard to be a guy of truthfulness, huh?
That's right.
Okay. I'd like you to look at the defendant, exhibit 34. Could you review that, please, sir?
Is that the top portion also? Can I see the top portion?
See the whole thing, sir.
Okay, all right.
You just go over the whole entire thing.
Yes,
Have you done it yet?
yes.
Read that bottom part.
Which bottom part are you referring
Start
to?
from right here, work all the way down, from here all the way down.
Violations of Clark County Sheriff's Office Standard Operating Procedures, policy number 1-0.
He could read it to himself.
Oh.
Questions about it. Questions.
Did you read it to yourself?
It'd be better to hold the sheet. You see it on that?
I can see it, Judge.
Slow it up a little bit.
Okay.
What did you read about his truthfulness?
He gave some, appear to be false statements during an administrative hearing.
Did it say appear? Did it say appear, he did?
No, the document speaks for itself, and you can ask him about it, but the document does speak for itself.
He said appear to be false statement, that's misleading. Did it say appear that he gave a false statement in there?
No.
Well, why you say it then?
I don't know. That's what I said. That's what it appears to be. I didn't say I said appear. That's what it appears to be.
Is it appear to be that, or is it that?
I guess you can say it is that.
And what
Yes.
did that say about his truthfulness?
I just told you what it said.
Was he suspended on that? Did it say he was suspended?
Go back up to the top. Yes.
And you talking about this guy, you said don't people read the truth, right? It's the same guy we're talking about.
Yes.
I'd like you to look at defendants, Exhibit 35, please, sir. Please review that, please, sir.
Okay.
What did you read, what are your understanding of what you just read about this peaceful guy, Mr. Tony Howard?
Looks like he got into a confrontation.
What did it say about the confrontation in that, which you read?
I think the document speaks for itself, for him basically coming in there, what does it say, or what does it does not say? I think he asked him questions, about whether that changes his opinion.
Did that document say anything about Officer Tony Howard stated, you telling another officer, you gonna whoop my ass, I'm gonna whoop your ass?
Say that again?
This document stated here that Officer Tony Howard told another officer, you gonna whoop my ass, I'm gonna whoop your ass.
Yes.
Okay. Did this document say anything that Officer Howard stated to Officer Howard just hit you in your head? Right here, the red lady, can you see that? Right here. Right here.
Yes.
So this is peaceful, honest guy you talking about? This
Yes.
ain't threat to an officer, right?
Since I know him, yes.
Well, why you didn't tell the jury? Did you know that you didn't want to tell me? You got something to hide?
I said,
That's argumentative, and it's his witness.
Sustained.
Y'all, as far as him being my witness, he my witness, but he ain't my witness. I got him up there for a reason.
I just sustain the objection, ask another question.
How do you feel about seeing these documents about this peaceful guy that don't do no wrong, tell no lie?
doesn't change.
About you the same way?
That's argumentative.
Sustained.
I know that you stated, you saw that audio in that video, you see me get out the car and walk up to his car. Remember, do you recall stating that?
He's already asked me and answered all of that, in the paper part testified. He's
Yeah,
already went into everything he looked about it, and that was a leading question as well.
That case is closed. As he just stated, this is my witness. I can ask him a question. On this is a different case, he can close this case. So if I want to come back to ask him a question, I can.
Frame the time that you're talking about.
When you do you recall testifying for the jury? When you was the prosecution witness about seeing Jamie get out that car and walk up before you see the video?
Yes.
Is your friendship with Tony Howard, would that be a reason that you don't tell us everything you saw in that video?
That was a conversation I had with the district attorney's office. That was a private conversation. It was the district attorney's office decision to write a report on that because we wanted to be transparent with the investigation. That was something that I thought I had something. And I went to him and told the truth.
Did anybody twist your arm and make you say something about that video?
Nobody twists my arm for anything
Okay, well, why did you testify? Why did you talk to him back then?
because I gave him my belief on what I thought I saw.
Is it possible that you saw it and your belief come from what you saw?
I do.
Please state your first and last name for the jury, sir.
Julian Brooks.
Okay, what you do for a living?
I work at Tagged,
Okay, how long you been working there?
2 years now.
Mr. Brooks, do you recall having an interview with a Detective Ivy when this incident first occurred?
Yes, I do.
What do you recall telling Mr. Ivy about the incident pertaining to Jamie Hood?
What incident, like when I got kidnapped or what you talking about?
It's alleged carjacking.
Oh, the carjack.
Yes, sir, and kidnapping, whatever you want to call it.
Okay. I just, well, you want me to explain the whole thing?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Just ask a specific question.
Could you explain what you told Detective Ivy pertaining to this alleged carjacking and this kidnapping?
I told him,
General, that's the
Same question.
That's the same question.
Well, it was specific when I'm asking him about the alleged carjacking kidnapping.
Calls for narrow. You need to narrow the question.
What did you tell him about some drugs? Did you tell Detective Ivy about some drugs that day?
yeah, I told him that you said that you had some marijuana you wanted me to look at.
Okay. How much marijuana did you tell him I had?
We never specifically talked about marijuana, what you had. You told me, come see some marijuana that you had to take back to somebody.
Do you recall testifying for the jury that I told you you wanted 50 pounds of marijuana to cook out? Do you recall telling the jury that?
Man, we never discussed, you don't even know the price on 50 pounds of marijuana.
Just answer his question.
Do you recall telling the jury that you told me that you wanted 50 pounds of marijuana?
It wasn't the same day, you discussed that you were gonna get some weed. We ain't discussed no 50 pound that night.
Or have you forgotten? You've been going through so much, you forgot what you done told the jury?
I know that night right there, it was a different occasion.
That's an argumentative question, and I would object to it. He needs to ask specific questions if he wants to.
Well, I asked to get the transcript because he said he had told it to him, and he said he was just playing. He sitting here and said it. He told him right there the first time he testified. I told Jamie he won't fit the plan.
Sustain the objection. You ask another question.
Why did you tell the jury during your testimony that I told you that you told me you wanted 50 pounds of marijuana to cook out of Roller Red?
And Roller Red, we not discussed 50 pounds of marijuana, not that night. We never did. We never discussed that type of marijuana. You couldn't get that kind of marijuana, Jamie.
I would move to have his whole testimony strict when he gave to the jury. If he can't sit here, he was sitting here and told them that he said he did it.
Motion to strike his testimony is denied.
Why have you forgot what you told the jury during your first testimony?
That's argumentative for him to say that.
Sustain.
He needs to ask specific questions of Mr. Brooks.
Do you recall telling the jury, I told Jamie I wanted 50 pounds, but I was just playing?
That was another day. That wasn't that day, Jamie. You know that.
Well, what day did you tell me you wanted 50 pounds then?
When you called somebody on the phone, you asked me how many that you think I can handle, and I said 50 pounds just to get you out my face. But that wasn't the same day of the cookout. That was a whole nother day, Jamie.
So is it,
I'm going to ask you to refer to him as Mr. Hood and refer to him as Mr. Brooks. Please.
okay. On what day did I allegedly tell you other than that cookout about some 50 pounds?
It was around it was in about June of 2010. You pulled up on me outside my mama's house and asked me, said, you could get some marijuana, and like, how many do you think that I can handle? I said, we probably trying like 50. You called somebody on the phone, remember you called them, and I would not talk to them people because how you was talking over the phone, I let you talk to those people.
Did you tell the jury this alleged incident the first time you testified for him?
Because you brought up the 50 pounds, and I remember saying that to get you out of my face. That's what I said.
But why didn't you tell the jury this the first time you testified?
Jamie, me, you ain't never did no business like that, Jamie.
Okay. I think you misunderstood the question, Mr. Brooks. Why didn't you tell this jury this the first time you testified, Mr. Brooks?
Because I didn't remember that.
I would object. He testified on direct. The defendant had him on cross, asked him whatever questions he wanted to ask any of those questions. He certainly could have done that. What he may or may not have said at that time is obviously his blood. But that's an argumentative question.
I'll sustain the objection as argumentative.
Should I just be heard for the record? I'm not here to it. Just remember the prosecutor opened, he Bull and Mr. Brooks right on in the courtroom, yeah, Jamie, I told you I wanted 50
I'm gonna
pounds.
stop you because that's a not appropriate response
Oh.
to the objection. Ask another question.
Okay. Mr. Brooks, you recall telling the jury that you didn't talk to me on the phone about no marijuana the day before this alleged carjacking kidnapping. You recall that?
Yeah, we never talked about marijuana over the phone.
Did you tell Detective Ivy during your interview with him on March 22nd, 2011, that Jamie called me the night before and said he had some marijuana?
Now, you called me the night before and said you wanted to talk to me. We never discussed it. I told you I was cooking for my little girl. And I said, I'll get with you in the morning, about 8. When I'm about 7, when I drop her off, you start calling me as soon as you were walking into school.
Why did you tell the jury that you didn't talk to me on the phone?
I told we talked, but you just, I told them that.
Why did you tell the jury that you didn't talk to me on the phone the day before? This,
Those are argumentative, and I would reject that.
Sustained.
Talk to that. He had him on call for the time.
young, it don't matter if I'm on cross or not. I can ask what question that I want to ask pertaining to the answer that he gave. That's why I asked for the transcript, so when I get it back, I can make sure, I'll write it down. So if he done said something, I can impeach him off of what he's saying. That's all I'm doing, impeaching him, discrediting him. That's what the basis of my question is, to impeach him.
Ask another question. You can challenge him on it, but not argue with that.
I wouldn't argue, I just
Ask
question.
another question.
So, Mr. Brooks, do you recall the entire interview that you had with Detective Knight? Do you recall everything you said?
Yeah, I recall everything I said today.
Everything you said?
Yeah.
Can I have 1 second to find his file right quick? Who was present with you during that interview?
What, I had several interviews. I don't know which one exactly you're
Detective
talking about.
Ivy, March 22nd, 2011.
Oh, I think it was just him.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
How long do you recall the interview last?
It's been 4 years ago, Jamie.
Uh,
Oh, Mr.
Or
Hood.
don't have to refer to him at all, just Mr. Hood or nothing.
did y'all talk about the drugs, right?
Yeah, we talked, yeah, I told him that you said you had some drugs you want me to see, yeah.
Did you talk about you being put in the trunk of a car?
Yeah, we talked about that too, yeah.
Okay. Did you talk about Omar Ray?
Yeah, his name came up, yeah.
When his name came up, what y'all talk about?
I can't actually recall, but I don't think we was just like, I just told him that you were saying you were wanted for murder or something, what you were saying that day.
Well, if you can't recall, why you just tell the jury?
I remember his name coming up,
That was, he was trying to answer the defendant's question, so he can't very well ask the question and have the witness answer the question and then start interrupting the process.
Finish your answer.
Me finish my answer? You telling me to finish my answer?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but I was trying to see, cause I think he brought up Omar's name, and I was like, well, you were saying you wanted for murder. And I think I might have asked the detective, was you a suspect in the case or what? I think I might have asked him that.
Okay, do you recall in your interview, telling, Detective Ivy, I'm gonna be honest with you, the man actually called me out to his house, told me he had some weed he wanted me to look at.
Yeah,
Well, why you just testify that
I just said that you
Now,
did that.
please finish, sir. Why did you just testify that when I talked to you on the phone the night before they ain't talked to you about the weed? Why did you just do that?
We didn't talk about that night on the phone, Jamie. You were just trying to get me somewhere, Jamie.
Mr. Hood.
Mr. Hood, Mr. Hood.
Or nothing.
Can I have this interview here? Could I please, the portion of this interview to refresh his memory, please?
Has that been admitted?
No, I'm finished. I moved to admit it.
Foundation is laid, if you laid the corporate foundation, then that may very well not have any objection to that, Judge, if you explain the whole interview is gone. You haven't laid that corporate foundation.
No, I didn't say it's a long interview. I didn't say I wanted to play. I wanted to play portion of it because to refresh his
I'm gonna
memory.
ask the jury to go to the jury room. Anyway, and take yourself. All right. Are you asking to play a portion of the interview for the witness to allow him to refresh his recollection?
Well, Judge, what I was trying to do is, it's several questions that I would like to ask him. But again, I want to just get to the material point instead of just playing the whole video. So, I have the video of the whole interview with Detective Ivy. I done got on them questions about that. Because I seen how evasive the detectives were being about me asking questions. So that's why I got him in here, and I just want to just get it done the right way, and won't have to have the problem no more. So what I like to do is play this video, and let him see what he said, these things that now he come here today, he talking about he talked about it. So then what the purpose of me showing it?
So you're asking that you play the whole thing for him to refresh his recollection. Is that what you're asking?
No, I mean, I don't have to, Your Honor. I have, I self-transcribe, and I got times on different things. So I can go straight to what I want to
Go
ask.
straight to certain things.
Yeah, certain things, I can do that instead of playing the whole video. You know, it won't be as time consuming, and we can speed it up. I can go to certain things. I have time off the times, and I can get right to what I'm talking about.
Mr. Long?
I'm not certain what the purpose was, frankly, I'm not certain that what he's saying is different than what he may have said before, other than the questions that the defendant's asking are somewhat scattered in time when you start talking about, sometimes they're asking just wide open questions about when something may have happened or not happened, and then they narrow it to a time on a certain time, I mean, we talked about June of before, or so I'm not certain why we're doing that or why there is a particular need to do that or what he's saying that somehow needs to be refreshed. So I guess I'm looking to see what he's talking about that needs to be refreshed. That's why would be a need to even play that. Yeah, they wouldn't have an objection, but it's like, why are we doing that? I don't see what he's saying that needs to refresh his memory on. What is he saying? Because he had said he couldn't remember particular what he's talking about.
So any objection from either side to asking him the questions outside the presence of the jury that you want to see?
No, Judge, because I want to play it, because I got to play it, because I'm tired of them undercutting me.
Okay, so there is an objection.
Oh, yeah, there's objection, because this is my witness. If I want to play the CD, if I can lay the foundation, I can. He can't tell me I I've been nice about a lot of stuff, but I see I can't do that, because every time I say something, he objecting. If I go and play the CD, he couldn't object because he could see it. If he had done his homework, he'd know what's on the CD. I done done mine.
I'm just trying to figure out the most efficient way to do this, that's all.
That's
And
what
if
I was
that's
trying to do. That's what I was trying to do, but I can't be nice to him. I object, Judge. So this will stop all them objections because he see it. That'll cool some of that down.
He's got to lay a foundation for the admissibility of documents and for the questions he's asking, Judge. And I don't know, again, we haven't asked questions, is there a question he's asking that somehow he feels the witness is not remembering, that he has to somehow now play this to refresh his memory? And I'm not wondering why he's doing that.
So our alternative is to go ask a question. If he needs to refresh his memory, then we consider playing that section, sending the jury out, bringing them back in, ask another question. Is that
Well,
correct?
now, I guess I'd like to know what it is he's saying now that somehow needs to be refreshed. I don't know what he's saying now that needs to be refreshed, and if I at least had some idea what he's talking about, that's fine. I don't know.
I think what he's telling me is he doesn't want to disclose that
Exactly.
until the jury is in here.
If he wants to try to refresh his memory now, then that's fine. I don't think there's a basis to do that. The process to do that, that doesn't mean at this time that that particular interview would be admissible unless there's an appropriate foundation made. And at some point it may be, and we may not have any objection to the whole thing being played. Yeah.
And I don't disagree with you. You understand that point. And this is what you're about to do to refresh his memory is not going to get the disc into evidence. That's another matter.
Exactly.
You understand that?
Yes, sir. So if he want to play the whole video, I have no problem with it. But what I'm doing is trying to save some time. I wasn't trying to play. That's all I was doing.
Then I'll allow you to play the sections that you think are appropriate for him to have his memory refreshed. And before you start doing that, for the record, state the date of that interview and, if you would, and who was present.
Okay. Let me write that down so I don't forget.
Is that switched over to his laptop right now?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
His microphone still not working, he's still getting his thing over like yesterday. Everything crashed.
I keep hearing
jury don't need to be present. I'm just asking you if you want me to do it.
But let me ask you this. So Mr. Brooks has seen this interview
Yeah.
recently?
Yeah, that's why I'm asking you questions.
Well, then, we don't know that he needs to refresh his recollection, do we?
Well, he answered in contradiction to what he said
All
on
right,
the video.
okay.
That's why I was doing it. I'm like, okay.
Okay. Sure we can hear him.
This is bad we got. Yeah, this interview him was quite lower, but on this, he clearly telling the detective, he talked to me last night about some weed, but he just told the jury he ain't do it. That's why I had the transcribe, and anytime they come on and witness, I pretty much know what they say before I got there, that's why I be asking them questions. So if he say something he ain't said, hey, let's get this interview of him. That's why he keep telling all this witness, oh, I can't recall, so I can't authenticate the video, because I can go straight to that video, and I can show you all I'm asking the question, because he already done said, and I know.
He testified to that on direct examination about the circumstances on the 17th and the night before. He testified to that. I'm not certain, really, the questions he was asking really were pertaining to that. And that's what I mean. He had very disjointed questions about different time periods, about what may have been said or not said. He started out talking about 50 pounds and all this other kind of stuff. But he clearly said on direct, when he testified before, about meeting on the 17th, and about the night before, about really on the 17th, I'm getting to the drug business, that basically, I wanted you to look at that. At some point, he showed him a little bag of marijuana. He said, I can't tell anything about a bag. And then basically started calling, I got something I want to show you. The night before, and he couldn't do it. And he went in the next morning and called him about 6 times and doing all that stuff. And he finally wound up making it over there when all this happened. So that was done, it was already done. I mean, and that's fine.
It's not true, young. I specifically asked him, the night before you come over my house about the marijuana, did we talk on the phone about some marijuana? No, Jamie, I ain't talking to you on the phone about no marijuana. And he just sit here and said on this video. That's why I asked, because you see, I got the time already. I go straight to it because I know what he was saying.
I don't know what,
It
we
goes,
can't hear it now, and of course, I don't know that we're gonna be able to hear it.
the jury can't hear it because you can't hear it. So my thing is this here, why come here and lie? And when you know what you said, they'll come get that.
I had no objection. If you want to play the whole tape, just play the whole tape.
But
That's
we
fine.
can't hear
That's what
it.
he wants to do. I don't know whether it's working this one over here or not. I don't know which system works. But if he wants to play the whole tape, we have no objection in playing the whole tape and the statement of Your Honor. I have no objection to it. That's what he wants to do.
Well, let's do
That
that.
means the whole tape.
And how long is it?
Boy, that thing there, I will never admit that to it.
That's what you're asking to do.
You know what, Judge, I feel like I got to do it because he keep objecting. If he wasn't doing all these objections, I wouldn't do it. So I got to do it. You know, and I don't want to do it. But this will keep me clear these objections.
So, you're saying that you're not going to object to the admissibility on foundation or
No,
anything? or-
labels that an exhibit as far as being that. He said that Don Brooks listened to his recording there. I guess the initial or something to basically say that was the recording there. I don't have any objection. If that's what he wants to put in, we try to put it in this machine over here and see if somehow it's better. I don't know whether it's better or not.
It's better.
You know, to be honest with you.
Let's mark that, 37.
Yeah, you know, I can put it in this and mark it on this, it's clear.
It's gotta be switched in the back as well before you start over there.
Yes, sir. I was getting it cranked up.
See if that'll work. Is it not picking up?
You have to count down.
Shouldn't be that long.
It does.
So I don't have